And we're live. Hello. And welcome to today's live, which is streaming simultaneously on my Facebook page, which is Jenny Kovacs, the Queen of Being Seen. If you want to find that, just go onto Facebook and type in at Visibility Vibe without the S, and you'll find it. Also streaming live onto my YouTube channel, which is much easier, just my name as it shows on there, at Jenny Kovacs. Managed to snag that one. And also on LinkedIn. So for those of you who are my professional connections, whether I've worked with you individually, whether I've spoken at your company, or even whether you've just randomly connected with me because I've looked at your profile and gone, oh, that's interesting. Or you've looked at mine and thought the same thing. Wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in, welcome. And if you're watching this back on the replay, take heed of this as well, because today I thought I would talk about 3 ways to put yourself on the map. I kind of wanted just to say, put yourself on the map, but I didn't want to shout at you. So today we're talking about putting yourself on the map. So what is that? Why is it important? And who am I anyway? So as it says there, Jenny Kovacs, Visibility Queen. I'm nicknamed the Queen of Being Seen, and I've been doing this work for 14 years. I love this work. It feels like my life purpose. And I love it because me being the Queen of Being Seen has you be visible. That's why I get out of bed in the morning. And I'm passionate about it because so many people go through their life at, modicum levels of success, yet they can't quite put their finger on how they want to be seen out in the world. And these are people from, one-man band business owners, authors, consultants, SMEs, as we like to call them, founders, all sorts of people, executives, some employed professionals and some self-employed professionals. Either way, a lot of the people who have the most success in putting themselves on the map and being visible, they know these 3 things I'm about to share with you. So you might want to use this live as a bit of a checklist just to find out, do I know about this? Do I do this? Do I do this consistently? Have I done this before but fallen off the wagon? Have I never thought about this in this way before? And all of this work comes and is powered by the Visibility Vibe system, which I created and invented almost quite by accident, starting back from 2010, but actually possibly further back than that. So let's begin. There are 3 ways to put yourself out on the out there and put yourself on the map, and this might include if you're looking to raise your professional profile. It might be if you are looking to put yourself or your work out there. It might be because you're looking to become even more known. A large percentage of the people that I work with, either the people, their brands, their companies are already well known. In fact, I've worked with brands that are so well known in the world that we sign non-disclosure agreements, and I can't tell you who they are. But if I said them, you'd either say, oh my goodness, or, I've heard of them. So wherever you are on that scale of maybe just starting to put yourself out there or, out there exponentially, everybody knows your name, it's still important to keep up and top up your visibility. Think about somebody like Oprah. There will be people on the planet, who don't know who Oprah is, but a majority of people do. Some people will be saying, oh, Oprah, yeah, she used to do a TV show in the 90s. And they don't know what she's doing now. There'll be people that said, I think she had a book club at some point, didn't she? But they don't understand everything that she does in the world. They don't know about her philanthropic endeavors. They don't know about the interviews, high-profile interviews that she's done since being on Oprah. They don't know that she's no longer a news anchor. They don't know that she's got a magazine. They don't know that she's got her own production company. And they might not even know that she's also been an actress and been in a couple of different things, on Netflix as an actor, and also in films like The Colour Purple, the older Colour Purple. So if this is you and you are thinking to yourself, well, I'm already out there, check yourself against these 3 things and let's see whether they come up for you. So, as always, I love to divide things to make it easy to consume and easy to remember and easily write-a-downable. Is that a word? So if you've got pen and paper handy, do write this down. If you're driving, please don't try and write this down. You can go back and watch it on YouTube, on my Facebook business page, or even on LinkedIn. Just search for Jenny Kovacs, Visibility Specialist, Visibility Queen, and you will find me. And just go back and take your notes at your own leisure. But if you are watching now, and you do want to put a comment in the box, as long apparently as you're on Facebook or YouTube watching this, I can comment and you will see it. But LinkedIn won't let me do it in real time. So what I will do is have a look down the comments, and anytime you do comment, I will respond to you at some point, normally within 24 hours, and it will be me, not anybody else. So think about your ways to put yourself on the map. Now, think about it from 3 elements, and I invite you to do this because it gives you a 360-degree view, and sometimes we miss things in our own blind spot. So think about these 3 things: the head, the heart, and the hands. So what do I mean by that? The head is the bit where we think and strategize. And for so many people, they get in there and then they overthink, get overwhelmed, and sometimes procrastinate too. This is also the piece where the imposter syndrome might kick in or might lurk. So I'm going to talk about the head first of all. So if you are looking to put yourself on the map and get yourself out there even more, way 1 is this: have a vision and start a plan. So how you will approach this is, where is it that you're looking to go to? Some people will say, I want to speak to, 1 million people about my work. Some people will say, I work in this organization. It's my first 100 days. I want to go in and make my mark in my first 100 days. Some people will say things like, I work with this fantastic organization in this wonderful industry, and I'd like it to be X, whatever the thing is. So whatever it is, have a vision of where you want to go. And then with that, it makes it easy to put a strategy together, which can be as simple as writing something down on the back of an envelope. In fact, many great companies, many multi-million companies actually started where somebody was, or a few people around a table having a chat about something. I know personally of one business that was a multi-million pound business that actually got started where a few people were having a discussion and they literally wrote down what they were talking about on the back of a cigarette packet. I kid you not. So have a vision, but have a vision that has a strategy, with a strategy, so that you can then make a plan. So for example, something like this: I have a specific vision of somewhere that I want to go in this year. So in order to do that, I need to have a strategy. In other words, how am I going to get there? How am I going to do this? How am I going to put the plan together? And with that, it means that then I can make a plan because I now have a strategy. I now have ways. I know that I do well when I speak. I know that I do well when I meet people. So, for example, my strategy, when I get booked for speaking, and I've been booked, I think three things I've been booked in last month in January, as at the time of recording, and I had a week off because we went away and had a break. So in order to have those pieces work, I could have somebody who takes the call, find out, what the organization or the people or the group needs and how they want me to, come in and speak. But I actually like to do those myself, because using the Visibility Vibe system, I can then pick out which pieces are necessary, which pieces are worth their time, and which pieces are going to engage and enthuse the audience, whether it's speaking or training or consulting or just coming in and speaking to the board or running like a VIP day or something. So point number 1, the head. have a vision that you can really get behind, and you'll find out why in a second, but have a vision, and that way you'll find it easier to put a strategy together and then form a plan. If you try to do any of those pieces with the other pieces missing, it's likely that it won't start going or keep going in the way that you imagine. Okay, so part two, or way two, is all around the heart. So head, heart, and hands. So the second piece is your heart, and this is your passion. If I'm honest with you, I speak to a lot of people, and sometimes it's business owners, but sometimes it's kind of jaded employed professionals or senior execs who feel like they're banging their head against a brick wall. So the next thing for you to do from the heart is to find your passion. And I recommend that you refine that every single day. Not refine, but refind it every single day. Connect with it every single day. What is it that you're so passionate about within that business, that organization, your business, your work? Find whatever that is and reconnect with it on a regular basis. You know you've got it because you close your eyes and it's like you can feel it. And quite often when I'm speaking to clients about this, whether it's in person or online, I see them literally close their eyes and you can tell when they've hit the spot. They talk about it, they get very excited, very evangelical about it. And for some of them, when I ask, well, why is this so important to you? They get to the stage of what I call the why that makes you cry. A bit where it kind of catches their throat and they say, because. So find that and keep going back to that. And the reason to do that is that when you're then either speaking, making a video, typing online, writing your book, writing a blog, whatever you do, when you're connected to that passion, it's like people can feel it. In the same way that when you get jaded with your business and think, I've had enough, I can't do this anymore, you might put on a nice brave face and smile your way through it, but actually people feel that too. So this is a really important thing to do. Way three, your hands. Okay, so this is the actual thing that you do. And most people, again, kind of skip this step because they just kind of want to get onto the doing. And when you're actually doing something in a way where you're putting yourself out there and you're putting yourself on the map, you are consistently doing these things. You make a decision, so you decide the thing that you're going to do, then you take action. This is really, really important because indecision makes a very slippery bedfellow when it comes to success. If you're indecisive, it means that you'll start on one thing, but then you'll have the other thing taking up space in your mind. And, you know, heaven forbid, if you've got 3 or 4, 5 or more things going on, you'll never feel like you're quite focused on one. And one of the things that I've observed in the last 14 years are that people want to put their stake in the ground, get out there. They put their stake in the ground, kind of, and then they flip in this indecision. So they end up changing their mind and it looks like they're not sticking at anything. And then they wonder why the people closest to them don't necessarily believe in their vision. So make a decision, decide, and take an action. Now, I could say take loads of action and motivate you and propel you to go out there. But actually, the most effective thing you can do is take an action. Because what you'll find is when you take that first step, because you've made that decision, you know what your plan is, you know what your strategy is, and you can keep moving along, you'll find that there'll be a longer path for you to keep traveling down. And it builds up a really great effect. So the 3 ways to put yourself on the map, don't wait for anyone else to do it for you, is way number 1. Have a vision that comes with a strategy that you can create so that you can have a plan. That plan could be 30 days, it could be 90 days, it could be a year, it could be 5 years. I actually think there is a sweet spot, and I think anything from a year under feels doable, feels more manageable. And I'm putting my neck on the line when I say this, even for you bigger corporates and bigger companies with your 5-year plan and your 5-year strategy. Look at how quickly things change in this day and age over a year. So it's good to have a vision. It's good to have a plan that might be 5 or 10 years. But actually, if you can have that plan, but look to actively work it in a year or less, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's a month, then go with that. So way number one, have a vision with a strategy so that you can have a plan. Way number two is the heart. Show your passion. Show your passion, and don't hide your or don't hide behind professionalism. Some people say, "Oh, I don't want to get too animated because in my industry, people don't do that." Let me tell you, before I did this, I worked in financial services. I worked in group risk insurance. I worked in mortgages, commercial mortgages. I worked in non-conforming mortgages, and then going back, high street mortgages with very big banks that you know all about. And before that, I worked in travel. And the one thing I know is that when you hide your passion behind professionalism, you somehow look a bit stoic and stiff, and people can't quite connect with you. And connection is key. And the third thing is decide, make a decision and take an action. Don't just take an action and flail around everywhere. Make a decision and take an action. And take more than one if you need to, but take one action at a time, step by step by step. And before you know it, you have just put yourself on the map. You haven't waited for anyone to do it for you. I'd love to know what your biggest takeaway is from this video. And if you know somebody else who might be looking to either build their business, get their book out, build their consultancy or freelance work, or even get through their first 100 days in a corporate setting as an employed professional, or they're part of the exec board, send them this video. Send them a link to this video, get them to watch it. And if you haven't already, subscribe over on my YouTube channel too. I'd love to see you, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, bye for now.